Hybrid tire wear problems, Prius tire life, Tesla tire wear, EV tire replacement cost? Stick around because at the end, I'm going to show you the tire receipt from someone who spent $1,200 replacing tires on their Camry Hybrid at 28,000 miles and the simple rotation mistake that caused it. Here's something nobody mentions when they're selling you a hybrid or electric car. Your tires are going to wear out faster than you expect. Not a little faster, a lot faster. And because hybrids and EVs need specific types of tires, they're also more expensive to replace. I'm talking 30 to 40% faster wear in some cases compared to the same car with a regular gas engine. And if you don't know why this happens and how to prevent it, you're going to be buying tires way more often than you should be. If you want car content that actually warns you about the ownership costs nobody talks about during the sales pitch, hit subscribe. And if you know someone who just bought a hybrid and thinks their only costs are going to be oil changes, share this with them. Their wallet will thank you later. Let me explain why hybrid and EV tires wear faster, because this isn't just random bad luck, it's physics. First, weight. Hybrids and EVs are heavier than their gas-powered counterparts. A regular Camry weighs around 3,300 pounds. A Camry Hybrid weighs about 3,600 pounds. That's 300 extra pounds sitting on the same 4 contact patches. More weight means more pressure on the tires, which means faster wear. EVs are even worse. A Tesla Model 3 weighs over 4,000 pounds. That's as much as a mid-size SUV, except it's sitting on sedan-sized tires. All that battery weight is pushing down on rubber that wasn't designed for it. Second, torque. Electric motors produce instant torque. All of it. Immediately from 0 RPM. When you step on the accelerator in a hybrid running on electric mode or in any EV, the tires get hit with full power instantly. There's no gradual buildup like with a gas engine. That sudden force scrubs rubber off the tires every single time you accelerate. And here's the thing, people who buy hybrids and EVs tend to use that instant torque. It's fun, it feels quick, so they do it constantly. Every stoplight, every merge, every time they want to feel that electric kick, and every single time they're shaving life off their tires. Third, regenerative braking. This one surprises people. You'd think regen braking would be easier on tires because you're not using the friction brakes as much. And that's true, your brake pads last forever, but regen braking puts reverse torque on the tires. Every time you lift off the accelerator and the car slows down using the motor, the tires are absorbing that force. More force, more wear. In a regular car, you coast more. The engine provides some braking, but most of the slowing comes from actual brake pads. In a hybrid or EV with strong regen, the tires are doing a lot of that work. Fourth, tire type. Hybrids and EVs often come with low rolling resistance tires. These tires are designed to be more efficient, which helps with range and fuel economy. But low rolling resistance usually means harder rubber compounds. Harder rubber lasts longer in theory, but it also doesn't grip as well, so the tires can slip more under load, which creates wear. And because these tires are specialized, they cost more. A standard tire for a Camry might run you $120. A low rolling resistance tire designed for a Camry Hybrid, $160 to $200. Same size, different construction, higher price. I talked to a tire shop owner who deals with a lot of hybrids and EVs. He told me the average tire life he sees on a Prius is about 35,000 to 45,000 miles. On a regular Corolla with similar driving, 50,000 to 60,000 miles. That's a significant difference. On Teslas, he said it's even worse. Some Model 3 owners are replacing tires at 25,000 to 30,000 miles, especially if they use the performance features regularly. And because Teslas are heavy and quick, the front tires often wear faster than the rears, which means you can't just replace them in pairs. You need all 4 to keep the all-wheel drive system happy. Let me tell you about the receipt I mentioned. Someone brought their 2020 Camry Hybrid into a shop at 28,000 miles. The front tires were completely shot, down to the wear bars. The rears still had some life, but were getting close. They'd never rotated the tires, not once. The dealership never mentioned it during oil changes, and the owner didn't think about it because their previous car, a regular Camry, had gone 40,000 miles before needing tires. The shop recommended replacing all 4 because the rears were worn unevenly. Total cost? $1,240 for 4 low rolling resistance tires, mounting, balancing, alignment, and disposal fees. The owner was stunned. They'd bought the hybrid to save money. And yeah, they were saving on gas, but they just blew all those savings and more on tires that should have lasted twice as long. Here's the thing. If they'd rotated the tires every 5,000 miles like they were supposed to, the wear would have been distributed evenly and they probably would have gotten another 15,000 to 20,000 miles out of that set. Rotation matters more on hybrids than on regular cars because of how the weight and torque are distributed. The front tires do most of the work. They carry more weight because of the engine and battery placement, they handle acceleration torque, and in front-wheel drive hybrids, which most are, they're the drive wheels, so they wear way faster than the rears. If you don't rotate, the fronts are toast while the rears still look good. And if you replace just the fronts, you've got mismatched tread depths, which can mess with the hybrid system's traction control and efficiency. Now let me talk about tire pressure, because this is another place where hybrid owners screw up without realizing it. Hybrids and EVs are more sensitive to tire pressure than regular cars. Because they're heavier and because they need to maintain efficiency, the recommended tire pressure is often higher. A regular Camry might spec 32 to 35 psi. A Camry Hybrid might spec 36 to 38 psi. If you run the hybrid at 32 psi, because that's what you're used to, the tires are underinflated. They flex more, they generate more heat, they wear faster on the edges, and your fuel economy drops because the car has to work harder to overcome rolling resistance. I see this constantly. People check their tire pressure once a year, if that. They eyeball it and figure it looks fine. Meanwhile, they're running 4 or 5 psi low and their tires are getting destroyed. The tire shop guy told me he does pressure checks on hybrids that come in and at least half of them are running low. When he brings it up, owners are surprised because the tire pressure light isn't on. Yeah, because the light doesn't come on until you're like 25% low. By that point, you've already been damaging the tires for months. Here's what you need to do if you own a hybrid or EV and you want your tires to actually last. First, rotate your tires every 5,000 miles. Not 7,500, not 10,000, every 5,000. If your dealership or oil change place offers free rotation, take them up on it. If they charge, find a tire shop that'll do it cheap. It's worth it. Second, check your tire pressure monthly. Not when you feel like it, monthly. Buy a decent tire pressure gauge for $10 and keep it in the car. Check when the tires are cold before you drive. Inflate to the pressure listed on the door jamb, not what's stamped on the tire sidewall. Third, get an alignment check at least once a year. Hybrids are heavier, and if your alignment is off even slightly, it'll chew through tires fast. Alignment usually costs $75 to $100 and can save you hundreds in premature tire replacement. Fourth, drive like you're paying for tires, because you are. Every aggressive launch, every hard stop using regen, every corner taken too fast, you're wearing rubber. I'm not saying drive like a grandma, I'm saying be aware that spirited driving in a hybrid costs more than in a gas car, because the tires pay the price. Fifth, when it's time to replace tires, don't cheap out. You need the right tires for your car. If it came with low rolling resistance tires, replace them with the same type. Don't throw on cheap all seasons because they're $50 less per tire. You'll lose efficiency, the car won't handle as well, and you might actually wear them out faster because they're not designed for the weight and torque. And sixth, keep records. Track your tire mileage. When you got them, what brand, how much tread is left at each rotation. This helps you spot problems early. If your fronts are wearing way faster than expected, maybe your alignment is off, or you're underinflated, or you're launching too hard at every green light. Here's something else. If you're shopping for a used hybrid or EV, check the tires carefully. Tread depth, uneven wear, age. Tires are expensive on these cars, so if you're buying a used Prius with 50,000 miles and bald tires, factor in $800 to $1,000 for a new set. That changes the deal. I know someone who bought a used Nissan Leaf. Great price, low miles, clean car. Drove it home and realized the tires were worn unevenly and probably original from 2018. Needed a full set plus alignment. $950 he wasn't expecting to spend in the first month of ownership. Let me also talk about tire noise, because this is something hybrid owners notice more than gas car owners. Hybrids are quiet, especially in electric mode. There's no engine noise to cover up road noise, so if your tires are cheap or worn or the wrong type, you hear everything. Every bump, every texture change in the road, it all comes through. This is why spending a little more on quality tires matters. You're not just buying tread life, you're buying a quieter, more comfortable ride. On a hybrid where you can actually hear the tires, that difference is noticeable. Some hybrid owners switch to premium touring tires instead of the low rolling resistance ones, accepting a small fuel economy penalty in exchange for better comfort and quieter operation. That's a personal choice, but it's worth considering if road noise drives you crazy. Here's the reality. Owning a hybrid saves you money on gas, absolutely, but it costs you more in tires, and if you're not prepared for that, it feels like a surprise expense that negates some of the savings. A regular Camry getting 32 mpg might spend $1,500 a year on gas. A hybrid Camry getting 50 mpg might spend $950. You save $550 a year on fuel. But if you're replacing tires every 35,000 miles instead of 55,000 miles, you're spending an extra $300 to $400 per set over the life of the car. Suddenly, that savings is smaller than you thought. I'm not saying don't buy a hybrid. I'm saying go in with your eyes open. Factor in tire costs. Budget for more frequent replacements. Rotate religiously. Keep pressure correct, and understand that instant torque and heavy batteries come with a hidden cost that wears out a little bit every time you drive. If you want honest ownership advice instead of just hybrids are amazing and perfect, subscribe and share this with anyone who just bought a hybrid and is wondering why their brand new car already needs tires. Every car has a story, and sometimes that story is written in rubber you didn't expect to replace this soon.